Assalamu alaikum. The topic we are going to discuss today is strategic leadership. All those in IB organization, the most of the C-suite level leaders actually work on the strategies of their company. Say, Harvard has actually conducted a research along with the Wharton and its own consulting company, and they have find out some basic essential skills which they believe is essential if you really wanted to become a strategic leader. So let's just move forward and find out what are those essential skills. So first of all, we're going to have some sort of introduction that this research was actually conducted in the collaboration with the Wharton School and Harvard own consulting firm, which involved the 20,000 executives. So it's a very vast data, and the observation definitely will be going to be very significant. Then we will learn about those set skills. So they have actually identified the 6 basic skills which they think that if anyone master over them and use them effectively, then their strategies will be very effective and will add value in the company whatever direction they are moving. So they believe that if any leader possess the quality of anticipate, then he knows, but he challenge his opinion. He knows how to interpret the negative feedbacks, how to make a decision, how to make alignment with the stakeholders, and his learning attitude. If anyone possesses these 6 qualities, then he will be a strategic leader. Now we will going to go to learn about these skills one by one. So here we have the anticipate. So most organization leaders are poor at detecting ambiguous threats and opportunities on the periphery of the business. So this is a universal fact that most of the organizations do not understand that emerging technologies, emerging new way of working are fascinating and they are attracting the market. So they take some time to first to observe them, or you can say to implement them. I'm not saying that you just heard the name and started to implement it. What you need to do is to just look at it, that you just connect the dots, that okay, something has actually invaded the business environment. How it actually working, is it workable or not, will it going to provide the easiness in doing some certain business activities. So in this regard, any leader who has the quality of anticipation. So according to the Harvard research, he do possess the quality of strategic leadership. Now Harvard, beside from informing the readers that that strategic leader possess this certain quality, but if anybody does not have that quality, then how can he improve and bring that quality in his leadership style. So it says that the leader should have to talk to their customers, suppliers, and partners to understand how they look at their future prospect. Then they should conduct the market research. I already told you that every leader should have to connect the dots, that okay, if certain technology or a high tech technology is actually invading the business environment, then what else they can do to to implement it, or you can at least to study it, or you can any business can also run some sort of remote test to find out whether the certain technology is feasible for them or not. Then scenario based planning, to imagine various features and look at the fast growing rivals and examine actions. Then list out those customers who have actually lost recently. This is a very important point. Most of the business actually accept the data, or you can say give significance to those data in which the new customers are added to their business. But if business actually concentrate on those customers who have actually left, then they find out that where they are lacking. and where their competitors are actually surpassing and providing those facilities which they are not unable to provide to the customers. So I think this point is very, very significant. Then we have the quality of challenge. A strategic thinker questions the status quo. They challenge their own and other assumptions and encourage divergent point of view. Any leader, you know, every any leader who actually wants to create something, or who actually wants to bring improvement in the life or the business, do not only rely on his own opinion. He seeks the differing opinions from different people, from diversified background, from diversified, opinion oriented people, to find out whether his opinion is acceptable to his near one, then the broader aspect, then he thinks with a broader aspect, and this is the fact. Okay, you should, first of all, you need to share your ideas with your friends and family members. If they accept it, it means that it has some sort of acceptance with the people who are actually your like-minded. Then you expand those idea to the further and go far beyond to determine, okay, my idea is going to be feasible with a broader audience or not. So the real leader actually challenges himself. He does not rely on his own opinion. He actually accept the differing opinions, then evaluate it and find out, okay, if I just absorb that idea as well and try to make adjustment in it, whether it will become more feasible or more workable. So now the Harvard suggests that if anybody does not possess this quality, then how he can improve it. So it says that any leader should focus on the root causes of the problem rather than the symptoms. Encourage debate by holding safe zone meetings where open dialogue and conflict are respected and welcomed. Include naysayers in decision process to surface challenges early. Capture input from people not directly affected by decisions who may have a good perspectives on the repercussions. So in short, the basic thing to get improve yourself, your opinion, is that you need to find those people who can give you their uh, some some diversified opinion over your own opinions. They have some negative feedbacks. They have some sort of dare to give you some negative feedbacks, and that's very really beneficial for you, because it helps you to improvise your opinion. Then the quality of interpretation. The leaders who challenge in the right way invariably elicit complex and conflicting information. That's why the best one are also able to interpret. Now there, once again, it is really similar to the challenging, but here the Harvard is saying that if anybody gives you some negative feedback and you just improvise your idea, then you have that quality to interpret it clearly, to tell your people, okay, I thought like this, and now I have received this feedback, and after receiving feedback I've evaluated and improvised my idea, and I think that this it should work like this. Is it acceptable to you all or not, or you have some sort of different opinion? So you need to find out the way to interpret it, to let the people know that, okay, after some consultation my opinion has been changed this way. And it should not be you'd be ashamed that if your opinion, if you just go back to, you go totally turn around your opinion, because this is how actually world works. You just learn and continue to learn, and which is actually a part of this list as well. So how can you improve this quality? Is that when analyzing ambiguous data, list all least three possible explanation for it. Force yourself to zoom in on that detail and out to see the big picture. Actively look for missing information. Step away, go for a walk, look at art, put on traditional music, play ping pong, to promote an open mind, to absorb those feedbacks. That's important. Then the decision making. In a certain uncertain time, decision makers may have to make tough calls with incomplete information, and often they must do so quickly. Strategic thinkers insist on multiple options at the outside and don't get prematurely locked into the simplistic go no go choices. Now this is a very important thing, because decision making is a very, very tough skill. Some people may just think it okay if I just hear and say. They often just hear and say their decision. So that's not a very good quality. You need to have some sort of authentic data behind you. You have some sort of a very authentic and very solid base to give your decision on anything. You should have some sort of alternative decision making options as well. So anybody can ask you the decision why you're making this decision. So you should bring it on that okay, I have analyzed this, I have done my work, or I've done my homework, and that's why I'm putting forward my decision this decision, and I'm ultimately conclude to this decision. It's not just about to say your decision, it's about conclude that I have sorted almost every options, and this is I have reached that I think this is the best possible way we can move forward. So how to improve how improve this quality in yourself is that reframe binary decisions by explicitly asking your team what other option do we have. Divide big decisions into pieces to understand component parts. Tailor your decision criteria to long-term versus short-term projects. Let others know where you are in your decision process. It's all about teamwork. Decision making is all about teamwork. How much do you share with your team? How team shares with you, and how much research do you do conduct with your teammates? So it's all about decision making. Anyone who just there is only one person who takes the decision, but there is a whole team work behind it who actually back them up when they actually speak about their decisions. Then you have alignment. Alignment is a very very important, and you know today in this world when we are actually fighting with the pandemic, so alignment has taken a very significant part in our decision, in our business, business workflows, and our business activities. So Harvard says that strategic leaders must be adept at finding common grounds and achieving buy-in among stakeholders who have disparate views and agendas. This requires active outreach. Success depends on proactive communication, trust building, and frequent engagement. Now, how can you improve this quality in yourself? Is to just to communicate clearly and often to combat the two most common complaints in organization. No one ever asked me, or no one ever told me. Now, this is the point. We should have to focus now. We just focused on this point that this has actually happened with when especially with the managers or general managers, where the teammates actually made any kind of decision, and when they started to put forward or starting to work on it, then someone from the management just came inside and said, oh, you never told me, or I was never told. So he just become totally stranger world. Not this becomes this actually creates a air of miscommunication or the lack of trust among themselves. So this communication gap should be removed. Actually, you need to align each and everyone from the management, whether it's outsiders or any kind of stakeholder. You have to align all of them whenever you are taking any kind of working on any kind of decision making process or important strategy work. Then we have the identifying key internal and external stakeholders. Use structured and facilitated conversations. Reach out to resistors directly to understand their concerns and then address them. Now, this point is also very important. You need to find out those who actually give you the negative feedback and who believe that this change will going to affect them, or they do fear that whatever you are bringing is not good for the business. So you need to come closer to them, to understand them why they are saying, and you should have those capacity to convince them. It's your responsibility to convince them if you are put forwarding any kind of business idea to them or any kind of strategic idea to them. Then we have learning is the most important quality for anyone, whether it's a leader or non-leader, is a manager or anyone. If you really wanted to become something, you need to build that habit of learning. So the strategic leaders are the focal point for organizational learning. They promote a culture of inquiry, and they search for the lessons in both successful and unsuccessful outcomes. The lead study failure, their own and their teams, in an open and constructive way to find the hidden lessons. Now, how we can build this quality in our leadership personality? The Harvard says that institute after action review. Document lesson learned from major decisions or milestone. Reward managers who try something laudable but failed in terms of outcome. Now, this is a very bold decision. You are actually rewarding someone who haven't who haven't achieved the outcome, but actually he had tried. He had tried to bring the knowledge he learned and tried to bring something, but unfortunately he did not get it. But at least he tried, just to encourage them to keep learning and keep doing. Then conduct annual learning audit to see where decisions and team interaction may have fallen short. Identify initiatives that are not producing as expected and examining the root causes. Create a culture in which inquiry is the value. Now, this is all we have just learned all about the strategic leadership. All the session skills are referred from this journal from the Harvard Business Review by the Paul C. S. Shoemaker and Steve Krupp and Samantha Holland. So thank you very much for listening this information, and I hope that you will like this content. And so please do subscribe my channel Minhal Heather. Click bell icon for new updates. Share it, like it, and enjoy it. Thank you.